Please welcome Sharleen Spiteri. Charlie, the movie songbook, and it's, you know, loads and loads of favourites. So,
yeah,
I mean, but clearly you're into films then, is it?
Yeah, I've always been into films. I mean, Texas, the band we were formed when myself and Johnny, my songwriting partner, first met. The common ground we had was the movie Paris, Texas,
yes,
which we took our name from, and we wrote I Don't Want a Lover based on, you know, inspired by the soundtrack by Ry Cooder. And from every album since then, we've always put like a little tiny, like couple of seconds, like 10-second part of a movie reference within all our albums. It's like our sort of lucky charm. So yeah, movies have always been a big part.
I gather even your daughter's even, I was going to say, suffered from this.
She has.
So what have you called your daughter?
My daughter is called Misty Kid, and Misty is from the movie Play Misty for Me, which a lot of people think is a little bit freaky to call your kid after such a dark movie. And the Kid's from Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, which is the soundtrack by Bob Dylan, is one of my favourite soundtracks, and also I just love the movie.
So when you were little, which were your all-time favourite films, or which perhaps they still are?
There was like a lot. I mean, I grew up seeing a lot of musicals, you know, from you know, stuff that I'd watched with my gran, like Singing in the Rain, and a lot of the old movies, a lot of old Betty Davis movies and everything, and that kind of stuff was what I grew up with mostly. And then it got to the points of things like Lawrence of Arabia and Dr. Zhivago, and then, you know, you get to a certain point where you're a young teenager and it's movies like Grease and everything. But, you know, as you get more sort of into stuff, you would start seeing things like Mean Streets and more gritty. Getting into the Scorsese part of it.
From your point of view, performing solo versus being in a group, do you like the freedom solo work gives you, but it's also more exposing?
It's weird because I don't see myself not being in a group because, you know, Texas is always there. It's like, it's not something that I stopped doing. It was just circumstances, the way things happened. We decided to take a break. I did a solo album, and this album that I've done, the movie songbook, is basically almost like, it's like leading into the next Texas album, because last year after doing the solo album I did a couple of things movie based, which I sang with the BBC Orchestra at the Roundhouse in London, and I did the 25th anniversary of Saturday Night Fever. Did the Yvonne Elliman song If I Can't Have You.
This is incredible variety compared with, you know, the earlier days. I couldn't get over.
That's what's so great about it, and that's why I really wanted to do this, because this isn't what I do with, you know, I'm not going to get to play with a massive orchestra or any of these things, and I kind of really get into it. And it was an opportunity to have a bit of fun and do something that was a little bit different. And, you know, it seemed just right, so I think when something seems so right, you should do it.
I was saying that and it astonished me. Gosh, is it 20 years? How would you say your style's developed over those 20 years? How different are you now?
You know, I would say we're pretty much the same as a band. You know, Texas, I mean, we've grown and grown and grown, and the amazing thing is that we have sort of grown as a band within the public eye, so it doesn't seem that different to everybody else. But you know, we were always very much quite a raw band that played our guitars, and that's still what we love doing.
Is that it? I mean, is that live performance the big kick?
It is. I mean, the thing is we love songs. I mean, first of all, we're in a band because we want to write songs. And, you know, myself and Johnny have been writing songs since, I mean, Johnny's been writing a lot longer than me through his bands that he's been in, Altered Images and then Hipsway and then Texas. You know, I've been doing it for 23 years now. So it's been a long time, and I just still love writing music and making records and touring. I mean, at the point where you stand up on stage with your songs, that's pretty special.
A lot of people in your shoes now, a lot start going towards bringing acting in as well as singing. Do you ever see yourself, you know, doing acting in a musical, whatever that musical may be? Would you act as well, or are you very much just a singer?
Well, it seems a bit weird. I'm actually going to do a movie this year. It's a movie that's based in Glasgow. It's actually a friend of mine that wrote the script, and it's about his sort of youth growing up in Glasgow. I'm actually going to play the part of his mother with Dominic West as my husband, and I'm playing next to Jack McElhone, who's going to be my son in it. And it's just a small part, but it's something that I was asked to do. Since the beginning of Texas, I've got to be honest, I think probably you'll find with most singers is that they do get asked to do movies. And throughout my whole career, I've always been asked to do movies. probably just before I had my daughter, there was a point where I was going to make a movie, a French movie, and various things happened, and the Twin Towers happened, and they lost a lot of the funding, and then I fell pregnant and I pulled out the movie. So that never happened.
Otherwise,
it was a
you
weird...
could have been a Glaswegian, Kristin Scott
Oh
Thomas.
my God, I don't know about that. That would be pretty cool. I love Kristin Scott Thomas.
Think about that. Good luck to you anyway. Sharleen will be back a little bit later to sing the title track from the film Xanadu. But for now, my thanks to Sharleen Spiteri. Thank you.